Jeter, I see some familiar faces. Mr. Cook and Mr. Jeter, you want to introduce yourselves real
Yeah,
quick?
it helps when I unmute my.
It does.
I'm Mark Cook, and I'm the counselor with SCOLA. And again, welcome, and can't wait to work with a lot of you guys this year. If you need anything, please feel free to email me or give me a call.
Hi, I'm Kerry Jeter. I'm going to be one of the mentor teachers this year, and I'll also be working with students that have IEPs to help out with that. So I look forward to working with you.
So, to start out, we want to show you how to access some information about our program. If you go to the Scott County Schools webpage and click on schools in the top right corner, you can see the image there. And then click on SCOLA in that list. And then on that SCOLA page on the main Scott County Schools website, if you go to SCOLA site, the little link in the dark blue bar, that will take you to our Google site. And there's a lot of good information there about requirements and expectations, who we are. The counseling tab has a lot of good information about requirements for graduation. That's important for you guys as high schoolers. It has the course catalog and all the credits that you need, all the information about what you need to graduate, your login, lots of good information on that website for you to access. Okay, and then let's talk about expectations. Those of you who were with us last year may be familiar with the expectations. SCOLA students are expected to remain on pace and be passing all classes with a minimum grade of a 65%. That's the lowest passing grade. A lot of you as high schoolers last year worked in Edgenuity. We're using a new program this year called Schools PLP. So it's going to be a little bit different. Those of you, there might be a few of you from middle school who were in middle school last year who piloted it with us in the spring. But when you log into your dashboard, it will show you whether you're ahead, on pace, behind, or far behind, and it will tell you your grade. So you'll have access to that continuously, and it updates continuously as well. So when you complete a graded assignment, that will be reflected pretty quickly on your grade. So that information is available to you daily. So there's no reason for you not to know that you're not on track or passing your classes. If you do fall behind in the far behind category or have a grade less than 65% in any class, you will be placed on academic probation. On academic probation, you will be given a timeline, a date at which you need to be caught back up to on pace and passing with a 65% or better by that date. If you do not meet those expectations, you will be required to return to in-person learning at your districted school the following school day. So in the example there that you can see on the slide, if your academic probation deadline is Friday, June 2nd, and you don't get caught up in your classes, you're going to be expected to be back in school in person the following Monday. So remember, that's on pace and passing with at least a 65. Login information is going to be sent out later this week. We will be logging in and starting on classwork next week. For this week, you just need to log into your school email. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yes, there is a link to Schools PLP on, not in the counseling tab, but on the SCOLA Google site. Somebody asked that in the chat.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about attendance. And SCOLA does maintain a flexible schedule for our students, allows you to work, allows you to have some flexibility with your family, travel time, stuff like that. However, students must demonstrate attendance by completing coursework every single school day. SCOLA staff will clarify attendance by checking through each student's platform every morning to make sure that you have completed work the previous day. So like on a Wednesday, I will check all of your Tuesday work to make sure you logged in and actually completed work. Simply logging in and not completing any activities does not count you as present. You have to complete some work in order to be counted as present. For Scott County, we do offer NTI days. And so on NTI or non-traditional instruction days, the district will announce it's an NTI day. SCOLA students, you do not complete the assignments that the district sends out. You simply carry on with your SCOLA schoolwork. Log on to your school's PLP platform and continue to work through there. Parents, you're going to receive an email from SCOLA stating that your child was marked absent if they do not attend or complete work on the day that we check. Make sure that you follow basically the same attendance guidelines that any other student in Scott County has, that if they are absent, you need to provide a parent note or a doctor note, and those are to be turned in within 5 days of the absence. You can submit those online to or via email to me or Miss Carmen Wallen. And again, when we are out of school, if there is no school, students are not required to log in.
So there were a couple of questions in the chat that I want to answer. If a student's login from last year doesn't work, who do they need to contact? We haven't sent out login information for this year yet. We'll be sending that out later this week. And then somebody else asked, you don't have to be logged in at a specific time. No, we just expect you to log in and complete work each day. We recommend that you start with an hour per class per day, and then you can adjust that as needed depending on whether you're getting ahead and you know, it's okay to be ahead, but if you're getting ahead, you can maybe cut back on the amount of time you're spending each day. If you're getting behind, you might need to spend a little more time in your classes than an hour a day. But yeah, it doesn't matter to us when you log in. We check, like Mr. Cook said, we check attendance the next day. So as long as you logged in at some point during that previous day and got work done, then you will be counted present. I think that's it in the chat. We need to go forward 2 slides. Okay, communication. There's a couple of things you need to be aware of. Miss Brown sends out a monthly newsletter with good information about what's happening in SCOLA. We also have a Facebook page that it would be great to like and follow because we post a lot of good information there. We also send a lot of information out via Infinite Campus Messenger, and parents and students, you high schoolers are old enough to be responsible to make sure your parents know that it's very important that your information is up to date in Infinite Campus, because when we send out communications, that's where we get your contact information for your families. And students, very, very important that you log in and check your student email every day. There may not always be something in there, but you need to get in the habit of logging in and checking every day. This is especially important for high schoolers because there's lots of information that comes out about different assessments, and if you're a senior, lots of important information about your senior year and graduation and whatnot. Also, there's a chat feature in Schools PLP that's super helpful. It's a little chat window that opens up right in your learning platform, and you can message any of us to ask questions. And we'll talk a little bit more about asking questions later, but all you do is open up the little chat icon and it's like sending a text on your computer.
And students, before I hit the slide, I see a lot of questions still coming through, and I want you to know we're not going to overlook your questions. We're going to go through this slideshow and then we'll get back to answering questions. That way, and we'll have plenty of time at the end. Real quickly, the counseling tab on our website is extremely important to high school students. You need to be very familiar with that. You need to be able to reach that, know where it is, and probably look on there at least weekly, because I will be providing information from your district at school. So the other thing is make sure you are able to log in Infinite Campus. Make sure you're checking those emails every single day. And then right out the chute, this week and next week, you're going to be getting information from your districted school and from Scola. It is important you read all of those emails and pay attention to that information, because we will start testing pretty soon, and you're going to have to know that information.
Okay, coursework. Really important. We had a lot of trouble with this last year. Submitting an assignment with "I don't know how to do this" in the comment box, or sending an email or a chat that just says "I need help" is very vague, and it's gonna cause it to take a lot longer for us to get you the help that you need. If you have questions about how to complete an assignment, or questions about any of the tasks on your learning platform, we are here to help you, and we're happy to help you. But with the large number of students that we have across a variety of different classes and subject areas, it's super helpful if you specify what class you're asking for help in and what lesson or assignment you're needing help with, and then be specific about what you're struggling with. Just saying "I need help" doesn't really give us a lot of guidance as to how to help you. We can provide additional resources, and we will, and answer your questions. Just try to be really specific to sort of streamline that process. Submitting assignments that are blank, our policy tends to be to just make it a 0. So ask questions before you turn it in. That'll save us all a lot of time. Like I said, we'll send resources. Make use of that chat feature. We had tutoring last year on Wednesdays from 4 to 6. I think we're doing it the same this year, where you can come in person and get help from get in-person help if the resources we send and the emails and chats aren't helping you, and you need to sit down with the person and get help. So take advantage of that. We're also going to have some live Zoom sessions, and we'll send more information out about that later.
We also wanted to give you a little information just about how to set yourself up for success at home. A lot concerning your physical layout, where you're studying, where you're doing your schoolwork. We'd like you to have a learning space that's, a separate room or a desk in a corner, or somehow separate from your living situation. So your home life and your school life still maintain a separation, even though you're doing your schoolwork at home. So please find a space that sets you up for success, with distraction free, that's organized, where you can get to all your materials and your computer easily. You don't want to have to make 5 trips to the kitchen to get pencils and paper, and when you should have it right there at your desk or at your workstation. And then personalize it. Just have fun with it. Hang a poster that you like, or put pictures of your friends or family, or have some items around to fiddle with when you're, in between coursework. Just something to personalize it as well. Another good idea is to create a schedule. It's very important that you have some type of structure and routine. Most people that are working successfully have some kind of routine that they go through every day. So that can include when you wake up, when you have connect sessions or mentoring sessions, when you eat lunch, when you take breaks, and when your school day ends. We want you to have a set end to your school day and beginning, so when it's time to shut it off and relax a little bit and take some time for yourself, or take care of things you need to do. And then extracurricular activities are important as well. Make sure you schedule time for those. If you want to play sports, or even if you work or you do stuff in the community, whatever the case may be, we want you to have time for that, and it's important to schedule that in your day. These are just some examples of schedules. Most of you are high schoolers, so you know how to make a schedule by now. But these are just some examples of ways. If you see, the main idea is to put the day and put the times, and then put what you're going to be doing at certain times. I mean, that's all there really is to it. And then you can have separate to-do lists out to the side, to make sure you have things that are coming up throughout the week that you want to make sure you get done as well.
So we want you guys to be successful online learners. And also we want engaged learning coaches. And some of those keys are begin school by checking your calendar of assignments. Every school day, first of all, we encourage you check your email. For me, that's number one. You should be logging into your email, one of the first things, and checking it throughout the day. But also checking your calendar of assignments. What do you have to do today? So you can kind of break those up or chunk those up. Make an outline of schedule for each day, as Mr. Jeter was saying. Learning coaches or parents, make sure you are absolutely popping in periodically to see how your students are performing in their classes. You need to see if they're on task or if they're falling behind, if their grades are adequate. Make sure you're also establishing routines during the first few days and weeks of school. It helps to reduce the stress. It helps you to make you more productive. So make sure those are key items that you're working on, especially since we're not going to start working on the coursework until next week. It's a great time to start setting up those routines. Learning coaches and mentors can see students access the lessons, how long it took you to do an assessment, all of those things. And we're going to be doing this regularly. So make sure that you are monitoring that as well, parents. Make sure you're making time for social activities. Guys, we do think school is absolutely important, but we want to make sure you understand that it is also important to be involved in outside activities, to be involved in community events, playing sports, volunteering, get into some of their after-school activities and clubs. So absolutely jump in on those. And we will be available for you, so please help yourself to reaching out to us.
So I will give the SCOLA staff time to look at the chat. But just to recap really quickly, we are excited to start the year with you guys. I think you've heard the big theme. Make sure you're checking your school email. That is super important. Someone asked in the chat about school Chromebooks. The district has set the requirement that SCOLA students should be providing their own device to work from home. However, if you do have a family need that we are not aware of, then absolutely reach out to me and we'll take care of that for you. So reach out if you have a family need and need a device. Right now, there is a QR code on your screen that allows you to choose some social activities that you might be interested in as a high school student. If you would like to fill that out so that we get a better idea of some activities that you guys might be interested in, that would be very helpful. As always, reach out to us here at SCOLA. You have our emails. Use the SCOLA Google page that we shared with you on the first slide. That's a huge spot for you to find all your questions and answers, as well as emails and staff contact information. So unless someone, Mr. Cook or Miss Standiford, do you guys see anything else in the chat that we need to discuss?
Yeah, you want to go, Mr. Cook?
No, go ahead.
Okay. There was a question again about login. Like I said, we'll send that out later this week to log into schools PLP. We're not going to start on that until next week. Somebody asked about accessing the parent login to Infinite Campus. I put Carmen Wallen's email in the chat. She's our administrative assistant registrar, wearer of many hats, and can help you with parent Infinite Campus login information. So that her email address is in that chat if you scroll up a little bit.
And the Infinite Campus that says you're not a part of the district, allow us a 24-hour to 48-hour rollover, because if we just got you in the system, technically today is the enrollment date for the district. So give 24 to 48 hours to check your Infinite Campus. The other thing I did see was something about Google accounts. Guys, let me go ahead and tell you up front, and all parents listening, when you are in a Chromebook or a home computer, home device, it is important that you log out of any Google account and log back into the Google account with your school credentials. Otherwise, you will not have access to the Google information we send. You must be logged in with your Scott County credentials because we set our Google information only accessible by our students and parents through that student account. So the other thing was about some classes. Guys, make use of our website. The counseling tab has every high school course that we offer. And there was also a link sent out to you where you can request certain electives. So feel free to make sure you use those, use all of those tools at your fingertips, especially the counseling tab. You're going to need that for the rest of this school year, I promise you. So trying to look to see if there are any others.
There, a couple people asked about Edgenuity. We are not using Edgenuity anymore. The district-wide got rid of it, and we're using a program called Schools PLP that we piloted last year that we're really happy with.
Specifically regarding credits and trying to earn credits, reach out to me through email or phone calls. There was another one that I just lost it. Where did it go?
I'm going to also say that we have a very short amount of time left before Zoom kicks us off. And so if you did not get your question answered today through the chat, please send us a direct email and we will definitely get back to you.
Oh, working on multiple classes. Remember what Ms. Franklin said at the beginning. We are going to monitor your progress. And so if you said, I only want to work on one course, well, that's going to show you at a deficit on your other courses. So we're really this year going to need you to work on all courses. So as Mr. Jeter was talking, set up a schedule. So work on all of your courses so that you do not fall behind in those courses and then are put on academic probation.
Okay, that ends our time for today. Again, thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, please reach out.